Hello everyone, welcome to this month's Gosho study, where we'll be studying a passage from the Gosho, the actions of the Votary of the Lotus Sutra. It is written by the Daishonin in March 1276 from Mount Minabu and believed to be addressed to a disciple named Leinan Konichi. Now she is a widow who lived in Awa, the same hometown as the Daishonin. Now it is a somewhat long passage, so let me first take you all through to identify the key ideas that are inside this passage. 1. Actions. 2. Votary of the Lotus Sutra. 3. Letter day. Nichiren, which stands for mentor. Propagate. Heart of the Lotus Sutra, which stands for philosophy of hope that leads all people to happiness. Disciple. Follow me, which stands for in unity. And lastly, surpass, which represents ceaseless advancement. Now putting the key ideas together, we'll have, in the latter day of the law, using the philosophy of hope, mentor and disciple will, in unity, lead all people to happiness and ensure ceaseless advancement in generations to come. Now the section here corresponds to the Votary of the Lotus Sutra. You'll find that I highlighted the word unity here. This is to stress that the Lotus Sutra is a teaching of oneness of mentor and disciple spirit. Without mentor and disciple working in unison for the sake of propagating the law, the Votary of the Lotus Sutra is incomplete. These sections correspond to the actions a Votary of the Lotus Sutra would take. And here, ceaseless advancement means, as practitioners, living up to our vow, overcoming all our challenges in life, and ensuring that the younger generation continue to uphold the true spirit. And in this Gosho, we will see the Daishonin making that passionate call to all his disciples. Something for us to ponder. To us individually, what does it mean to inherit the vow of the original Buddha of the latter day and achieve victory? What should disciples do? To help us all in this, I'd like to share something from Ikeda Sensei. Ikeda Sensei says, "What is the noblest way of life? My unhesitating answer is a life dedicated to truth and justice. Only in a world where truth and justice flourish can people freely bring forth their innate goodness. If in contrast, belief systems that deny the possibility of infinite human improvement prevail, misery and sufferings will abound. When society and times are in turmoil, the noblest and most honorable life is one committed to speaking out boldly for what is right." In the case of the Daishonin, throughout his noble life, he championed the Lotus Sutra teaching that all people have the potential for attaining Buddhahood and lead themselves and others to absolute happiness. He strove tirelessly to clarify the correct teachings and to refute the erroneous doctrines of the established Buddhist schools of the day, which distorted Buddhism's original spirit. Therefore, to inherit the vow of the original Buddha would mean that we commit ourselves to spreading the philosophy of hope that leads all people to happiness. Now in this Gosho, the Daishonin gave an autobiographical account covering the events of an important period spanning from 1268 to 1276. This corresponds to the period shortly before the Tatsunokuchi persecution, through his 2.5-year exile on Sado Island, and to his move to Mount Minabu. In the course of his struggle over this 9-year period, the Daishonin overcame major consecutive persecutions and waged a fierce battle against the three powerful enemies, thereby fulfilling the predictions in the Lotus Sutra concerning its Votary and establishing him as the Buddha of the latter day of the law in both word and deed. In sharing his own personal experience, standing up undauntedly for what is right in the face of persecution, we can see that the Daishonin is attempting to convey to his followers this utterly free and untrammeled life state of the Lion King, calm amid the violent winds. Since the Sado exile and onwards to Mount Minabu, the Daishonin has shifted the focus of his activities towards raising genuine disciples who, like him, will be ready to encounter and stand firm against great persecution for what is right. Thus, in the numerous other Goshos written in this period, the Daishonin will make the passionate call to all his genuine disciples to urge them to continue to strive together with him, undaunted by any circumstance, For Constant Refuge is a struggle between the Buddha nature and the negativity inherent in life. In a Gosho called The Dragon Gate, he wrote, "My wish is that all my disciples make a great vow." In another Gosho called On Jambudvipa, he wrote, "I pray that my followers will be cubs of the Lion King and never incur the ridicule of pack of foxes. Strive to expose the wrong of powerful adversaries, never begrudging your life, just as Nichiren has from the infinite past until today." So the Gosho we are studying this month is in accordance with that same spirit. He wrote, "Now at the beginning of the latter day of the law, I, Nichiren, am the first to embark on propagating throughout Jambudvipa the 5 characters of Myoho Renge Kyo, which are the heart of the Lotus Sutra and the eye of all Buddhas. My disciples, form your ranks and follow me, and surpass even Makashayapa or Nanda, Tiantai or Dengyo." And earlier in the same Gosho, he also wrote, "None of you who declare yourselves to be my disciples should ever give way to cowardice." Now imagine you are a disciple receiving these letters. You are now very clear what the mentor as a votary of the Lotus Sutra has done. But what do you think you can do? Will you shy away because you simply don't think you have anything worthy to contribute to the cause? Or that you felt that there's always someone else better that can do the job? On such doubts that the disciples might harbor, the Daishonin wrote in the Gosho entitled The Offering of an Unlined Robe. It reads, "There are 2 kinds of votaries of the Lotus Sutra, sages and ordinary people. The sage peels off his skin and uses it to copy the sutra passages. If ordinary persons offer their only robe to the votary of the Lotus Sutra, the Buddha will acknowledge it as an offering equal to peeling off their skin." Now indeed, the heart is the most important. We do not need to worry that our efforts are never good enough. We just need to strive to do our best. To be clear on what this means, Ikeda Sensei says, "The purpose of our Buddhist practice is to achieve a life without regrets, an invincible, fearless life, a life of integrity and principle, following our chosen path with confidence." In the realm of faith, the mentor cherishes the wish for each disciple to achieve great success as a human being based on their Buddhist practice and lead a life of complete fulfillment arising from a dedication to the great vow for Kosen Rufu. Whether the disciples achieve this is decided by their own determined efforts to keep challenging hardships and working in earnest to spread the law. The mentor teaches this rigorous path of faith to the disciples. The disciples in turn stand up as individuals, bravely take on adversities and triumph. They then joyously report their successes to their mentor. Nothing makes the mentor happier than to witness their growth and victory. So let us not worry. Let's rise with the right spirit and just focus on doing our best. Now in the modern day, it is only the Soka Gakkai who has inherited the Daishonin spiritual legacy and his struggle to realize Kosen Rufu in the latter day of the law and put into practice in the modern age. It is through the struggle that the mentors and disciples of Soka waged in the spirit of not begrudging one's life that the network of the Soka Gakkai has expanded to 192 countries and territories today. Now in explaining the term "form your ranks and follow me," Ikeda Sensei says, "Worldwide Kosen Rufu is the wish of Nichiren Daishonin. He entrusted this noble mission to his disciples who would follow in his footsteps. Now for that to happen, there must be a steady and uninterrupted stream of disciples who would carry on the Daishonin spirit and efforts. It is the Buddha's wish that the flow of Kosen Rufu of widespread propagation of the mystic law never cease. The courage to take the lead is the spirit of Nichiren Buddhism. We must be prepared to first stand up ourselves if we wish to truly become the Daishonin's successor. For that reason, we must stand up with firm resolve and take decisive action. When a single dedicated practitioner of the Lotus Sutra takes action for Kosen Rufu, it will awaken others around them, inspiring first one and then another and another to follow suit. One person's earnest efforts will definitely create a new page of history. Thank you everyone for listening.